Beating and banging with the 42. The 42 goes down low. The 79 gets caught up in it just at the very end. The 67 though, and Nathan Stanley makes it on through free and clear. He, Paul Bertiani, and Larry Dickerson having a drag race down to the for one last attack, getting underneath him, not quite able to make it stick, having to lift once again. Into exit of turn number 4, down onto the front straightaway here. Who's going to win it with the drag race? It's going to be Timothy Pope. First 3 and 4, 751 with a hefty lead here, about a half a car length as the one gets up into the wall with a run down. 200 feet. It's going to be a close one across the line. Garrett Welsh made it 3 wide on the far outside lane, picking up spots left and right here as everybody fighting for every single spot we go. Coming across the line, white flag, so here we go. Hello and welcome, race fans. It is Friday night racing once again here with the NTRL Arca series as they take on the tricky road course here at Watkins Glen for 45 laps, where we get to see these drivers who may not typically go onto any of these road courses. Well, they're gonna probably struggle here a little bit, but you know what? Sometimes people can surprise you, and that is what we're looking for in store for you here tonight. So let's get things all started off with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And welcome back. As always, we have to thank our fantastic race sponsors over here like JP Designs and 3D Prints. Go ahead, check them on out for some iRacing paint schemes as well as some button boxes and 3D printing. Big thank you as well to Davidson Builders on board here this season up there in that northern New Jersey area. Be sure to check them out if you're looking to maybe do some home remodeling or anything along those kind of things. Also, thank you to AdminBox, the premier button box solution for race control admins. Be sure to go check them out, as well as our fantastic other sponsors like SimGearCentral.com. Go check them out for some fantastic button boxes that have all the flip styles, knobs, turny bits, little extra buttons. It all comes to you, so big thank you to SimGear Central. Also, big thank you to TrackDogsRacing.com, now officially with some AAA broadcasting merchandise. So be sure to head on down there to pick up some hats, t-shirts, mugs, whatever have you down there, and go ahead and help support your favorite racer and your favorite racing league. TrackDogsRacing.com, the premier merchandising supplier for the NTRL, as well as big thank you to Track Bar Media. Great video edits as well as photo edits here for sim racing and in real life, so be sure to go check them out. As well as a big thank you to Holler Boyz Racing for sponsoring tonight's race, as well as countrythroughtheages.com and on Facebook as your live action replay camera. I'm Alan Brown, and I can still not feel my face even though I shoveled my driveway about an hour ago. And I am joined by two of my best friends here, Mr. Alan English up here with me in the booth. Alan, we return here to Watkins Glen, and man, it's just something. I know a lot of people don't like road courses, but Watkins Glen is always just something that's a little bit different, and I think everyone enjoys it.
Yeah, it's my favorite road course. It's one of the only ones where I can, complete a few laps without running off and catching a guardrail or two. But yeah, I personally love it. It's almost 2.5 miles long, and just like any other road course, all the turns are different, and you really got to know what you're doing. There's going to be a lot of shifting going on, and a couple of spots going all the way down into first gear possibly. So there's going to be a lot of action out there. We're going to see who our road course ringers are out there tonight. Might not be some of your normal guys you see up front. So we love seeing that aspect of the road course race and see, who can rise to the top and really prove themselves and maybe pick up a win. And they haven't, picked up a win at any of the oval tracks, but maybe can snag one here. So looking forward to see what happens tonight.
That indeed is down there on pit road. Mr. Adam Turner out here in the deep woods of New York. I know you enjoy your time out here, but we're going to be seeing some racing here. Not doing the full layout with the boot and all that, just your typical Cup layout, so nothing too crazy, but there's still some sections here, Adam, that I think we could see some people have some issues.
Yeah, I wish I was hunting in these hills. It looks like a pretty good place to hunt. I don't know. I've never been over there. I'm going to do some research here while I'm watching this race. But the right turn stuff, there's plenty of places to make mistakes. That's what I have a problem with racing a Cup type car. Well, although this is an Arca car, but it's still a Cup type car on a road course is very
stock
difficult.
Car, yeah.
Yeah, stock car. Yeah, that's the word I needed. But all these different turns just make more places for you to make an error. There's more areas on the track that are somebody can take advantage of you if you're not on your P's and Q's. I hope you had a lot of practice if you're in this race, because it's going to take some. It should be a good race. I think this one is probably the best of all the road courses that any stock car put races on. So I think we'll have some fun tonight. But 2 fast repairs, 70% fuel, 5 total sets of tires, and here's the big kicker: 30 incident points. You're going to be DQ'd. So sayonara. If you keep hitting the wall, they'll boot you.
Indeed, as we take a look at tonight's race info. A beautiful sunny day here in New York, quite opposite of what it's actually doing, so thankfully sim life is not real life. As we take a look here at the somewhat tricky, but as well not as tricky as other road courses that these guys have been driving on here tonight. Just like you said, Mr. English, about 2.5 miles long, give or take, depending on how you look at things. Bringing us down to tonight's key to the race, and as always, it is a road course, which means you need to be perfect, or at least as close as you can be. We've seen multiple times drivers just put, one tire off into the grass, or maybe brake a little bit too hard going into the bus stop chicane. Man, you can really screw up your race with just a tiny little mistake like those.
Yeah, you can. I mean, even, getting hard on the brakes while you've got a tire in the grass, that can just spin you out. I mean, So yeah, watch these guys to be extra careful, especially places like the bus stop. But something that really stands out to me about Watkins Glen, there's not hardly any runoff area anywhere. Turn 1 is about it. And what is that? Turn 7, there that gravel pit out there before the last turn. So there's only a couple of spots that have runoff area. If you lose it, anywhere else on the track, like we're seeing some of it happen during practice right now, especially like going up the S's onto the backstretch. If you spin right there, there's guardrails on both sides, and there's just no escaping them. I foresee at least a few of these guys using up both of their fast repairs tonight.
Giggity, I think you're right. Those walls are not forgiving at all. There's no real soft barrier here, is there? It's just kind of like a metal guardrail. You see how those are on the damn side of the road. Everybody hits those, and in like every 5 miles, there's a damaged guardrail somewhere. That's what these things are like.
Well, it's cheaper to put the signs up saying damaged guardrail ahead than to actually fix the guardrail. I think that's why you see so many of them.
For sure.
As we were watching there, is the king, Mr. DW, Mr. Birthday Boy himself, ends up dying there. He ends up having to go and try to do another lap here. But happy birthday to you, DW. I know you are getting a year older and getting closer to old Michelob's age there, but glad to have you still with us out here on the track.
Older and wiser.
I don't know if he can get that close to Michelob, but he's pretty much the oldest man in iRace, and everybody knows that. Richard Gray. Hopefully he's watching tonight somewhere in the Carolinas. I know he gets a kick out of us calling him old.
Well, and this is a real thing. There was I don't know if it was a link I saw from iRacing or what, but they actually had a guy that was in his mid-90s that races on iRacing.
So his name was Richard Gray?
No, it wasn't him.
No.
But he was an older cat, and just goes to show you, it takes all ages here. We got racers that are 13, 14, 15 years old. We got guys that are in their 90s, so it kind of runs the gamut. Yeah, we got guys, and iRacing, you can race with people from all over the country and all over the world too. So I don't think we have too many international guys in here. We do have a couple of guys from Canada in some of our racing. We had one guy that lived in the Caribbean, in the Dominican Republic as well. Yeah. But
yeah, I like getting like when you get on like a hosted or some kind of race, that public race, and you get cursed out by somebody in a different language. I love that.
It's fun.
It makes it more. Yeah, I like that.
Broaden your horizons.
I like fighting. I mean, even if they're fighting me, I'm down. Let's throw hands.
I want to fight with some Australian people on there, because if sometimes it's 5 o'clock in the morning and you want to get on iRacing, chances are you're going to be racing with a bunch of Aussies.
No, they're a little concerning. I mean, the way they're just a little different, with the crocodiles and snakes. I guess when you can die just by walking outside of your house all the time, I guess you got to be a little tougher than the rest.
Yeah, that's true. And just about everything in the outback will kill you.
That's for sure, man.
Well, as these guys continue to do qualifying here, there's only a couple of minutes left in qualifying, so hopefully the guys that are going to put in a lap already put it in. We got Chris Klein out there. Looks like he's running, trying to hurry one in there. But just your out lap takes a minute. I mean,
yeah, it takes a while, and then if you hit something, you're pretty much ruined for that lap, right? It doesn't count.
Oh yeah.
So
if you lose control, if you cut across the grass, if you tap a wall, all those things can invalidate your lap time. It's like Chris Klein has got one lap in. He's trying to pick up the pace, but I'm not sure. He should make it. He's got a minute and a half, and he's going down the backstretch into the bus stop. So let's stay with the 13 here for just a minute. He's trying to improve on that 1:17.21. Ooh, the back end of that car wiggling quite
Well,
a bit.
you know what I want to talk about real quick, English, while we
Yeah,
have
go ahead.
just a second. I know qualifying then everybody's cup of tea. It's really not mine. I don't care. It was especially at a road course. It's tough
Well, it
to
doesn't matter
follow.
where you start; it matters where you finish, right?
That's right, exactly. But trackdogsracing.com, man, they got some cool stuff on there. They keep adding stuff. They got shirts, hats, cups, koozie. I don't know if they have koozies, but all the cool stuff, you know. I think they have some AAA broadcasts and stuff, don't they?
Yeah, I know they have some T-shirts. I think they're going to do some hats, and maybe possibly in the future some coffee mugs or something. I love coffee mugs. I got a whole bunch of different ones. I've got one from one of the other leagues that we broadcast here that I drink out of on Wednesday mornings. Start my day right, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Do you like those old school coffee mugs? You know, the you can tell they're like thicker.
Yeah, mine
This-
are heavy ceramic ones.
Yeah.
Those are the ones
Yeah, I don't like the ones made in China. You know what I'm saying? I want the real, something tough that feels, it needs to be made in America.
Or if you're going to be drinking it quick, you can get those little tin ones. I've had some of the smaller tin coffee cups like you take camping. Well, it looks like
Yeah.
we're about to grid up here. Let's go ahead and run through our starting order here.
Yes, sir, indeed. So the starting grid has been set, and we're going to see the 6 of Mr. Steve Singer get that pole position over Timothy Pope here. Tim will start on his outside in second. In third, we're going to have birthday boy, Mr. DW, in the one machine, starting in third. The 15 of Vince Short will be on his outside in fourth. We got ourselves Mr. Nick Coate in the 5 machine starting there in 5th, with the 13 of Chris Klein starting in 6th. 7th will be the currently running very hot Mr. Larry Dickerson. Has had some great results the last few weeks here. He's going to start tonight's race in 7th, with the 62 of Rich Blake starting tonight in 8th. 9th, we have the 60 of Brian Neff, with the 03 of Dylan Bryant rounding out your top 10.
Zeth Hawley in the 48 machine letting us know on YouTube earlier that he is going to be in this race, and here he is starting in 11th place. The 751 of Mike Adamson will start in 12th. 13th will be Cole Larson in the 19. Timothy Stubblefield in the 92 putting on a pretty good show during the practice session. I don't know if y'all saw him running headlong into walls as fast as he could and stuff like that. That was pretty entertaining for me. He'll start in 14th place. 15th will be Jeff Ottinger in the Big Ass Fans Dodge number 76. Josh Kelleher will start in 16th in that 73 machine. And James Slim Bowden, I'm sorry, will start in 17th place in the 53. I messed it up again. I'm sorry about that, Slim.
How could you mess that up?
Because I'm dumb.
I
Is that
can't.
good enough for
I
you?
have no comeback for that. I just
Can't add to that, can you?
no.
I'm just kidding. I admit nothing. Well, how about a lap there, Alan, from Steve Singer in that 6? 2 seconds faster than Tim Pope around this track at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, you're not kidding whatsoever. The Rochester, New York native, so this might be one of his home tracks. He might feel extremely comfortable here with this. So, I mean, kind of watching practice, he was flying around here, and what surprised me was Timothy Pope. He was struggling during practice, but we were kind of talking amongst the three of ourselves, being like, he's probably just sandbagging, and look at that, he's up there in that front row. So expect that 728 machine to give Steve Singer a run for his money, because running one lap extremely quick, that's one thing. Can you do it time and time again?
Well, and looking at through the paints tonight, I see the paint on the 5 machine. We lost Ken Block this week, and if you don't know who he is, he's probably one of the most amazing drivers that ever lived, and did a lot of rally driving and a lot of special event things and videos on YouTube and stuff. He was a young guy, died in a snow machine accident, so I hate to see somebody that young go. We've had a lot of scares here lately with sports guys and hell, everyday people with young people with life-threatening stuff going on. But Ken Block dead way too early.
I know it. Even, Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner was hit by like a snowplow or something.
It's the season of snow.
Yeah, that it is. So either way, the pace car is going to lead this field through that final turn, which means we are getting up and ready to go green flag racing for the first time here tonight at Watkins Glen. Side by side, they send it off down into turn number 1. Who is going to be a loser? Who's going to be a winner here as they enter this turn? Timothy Pope riding that outside quite well. Looks like everybody able to shuffle on through there without too much of an issue, but Steve Singer is able to take that first position back from Pope on the inside lane there. Heading up the S's now, kind of starting to single file out a little bit. Still have some side by side here between the 03 and the 62, heading on down this back straightaway here into towards this bus stop chicane. Everybody giving a little bit of room. Looks like everyone doing a-okay, and we are underway here on this lap number 1. Chris Klein has the 60 of Brian Neff all over that back bumper as they head through the tricky carousel turn here. We've seen multiple drivers lose the back end of this vehicle there as well. 15 Vince Short travels a little wide there, but able to get it back up onto the track before snagging any instance of the outside wall. Down into the final turn goes the 6 and the rest of this field, down close as you can to that tire barrier, across the line, completing lap number 1.
Paul Ferdiani, the gambler out there, talking to us out there on the YouTube chat tonight, said, man, good job by everybody getting through turn 1 on that first lap. Well, that is not something we usually see. It's usually guys not giving each other room, not being patient on the cold tires, and you'll see some guys go out really wide. Sometimes guys getting spun out. So, yeah, I'm with you, Paul. These guys did one heck of a job on that first time through turn number 1.
Well, and they did a good job all the way around. It's very surprising. Usually, cold tires and aggression on especially a road course like this, you tend to see a lot of incidents on like a restart or a start of a race, and so far we have been super clean, and that is quite a surprise.
Places I really like to watch, especially in a cold tire situation or a really warm tire situation, is when these guys are going up through the S's, and when they get to the top, that's the point at which, at the top of the hill, up at the peak, your suspension unloads a little bit, so you don't have near the grip that you did. You're almost experienced negative G's at that point. So these guys are losing tons of grip right there, and if you got any kind of, if you got any wheel in it at all, look for that back end to start getting wiggly on you or completely go around.
I don't want the back wheel to get wiggly on me. That wouldn't be fun.
No, and like we talked about, there's no runoff area there. So if you do lose it, you're either going to nose real hard into the wall, or smack it pancake style, smashing the whole side of your car at one time there. Oh, wreck coming out of the bus stop.
Derek Welch, the birthday boy.
Oh, the birthday boy involved in that one. He can't be too happy about that.
Well, honestly, the lap time Steve Singer is putting down is ridiculous compared to the rest of the field. He's a ringer.
Yeah, he's pulling away from Tim Pope and
Singer the ringer.
yeah. He's driving like a ringer out there tonight, that's for sure. Steve's really got his stuff together here at Watkins Glen. Well, I even thought about it might be a good idea to maybe try to interview Derek on his birthday and stuff, but no yellow flags here tonight, so we're going to be racing this thing from start to finish non-stop for you guys here.
Non-stop.
Watching the broadcast.
Well, is there a king around? I think that. Have you ever just thought, man, I want to be the king? Like Elvis,
no, I don't
I want to be
responsibility.
No, I do. I want to be the king.
You want to be Elvis or you want to be an actual monarch, an actual
Both. Oh yeah, both. I love
both? Both.
time traveling. Set me back, you know. Man.
Oh, looks like the 48 is Zeth Holly losing some positions there.
Well, that's a little battle there. Who's next to him?
Well, you got
751 of Mike Adamson there.
Yeah,
Nice.
you got so the 48 is Zeth Holly. He's got 60 of Brian Neff in front of him. The 751 Mike Adamson there as well. Larry Dickerson started off quite strong here, but starting to trickle on back as Chris Klein goes spinning around here in the second to last corner.
Yeah, he's going to have to whip that thing back around and get back rolling again. Yeah, we saw Larry Dickerson go really wide in turn one on that last lap and let a few guys around in there. It's easy to overshoot turn one.
Derek Welch is trying to be aggressive, taking a spot from Dickerson again right there in turn
And
one.
he's trying to work his way back up after that wreck coming out of the bus stop.
Well, that's the thing. You can kind of have a little bit of an incident at a short track like this and still, due to time on the track and other people making mistakes, you can still gain ground.
That you
Both
can.
side-by-side racing in the bus stop. Whoa! That was a close one.
And coming out of the bus stop, you got the 60 and the 03 going side by side. The Winn-Dixie and Oreo machine of Neff and Bryant getting things all figured out down through the carousel here. Great racing being had. I know, like, Steve Singer, he's going to be the talk of the night, just absolutely dominating right now. I got a feeling unless it's going to have to be a big mistake from Singer that causes some issues for him here tonight. But the racing that we've had here between 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th has all been fantastic. As Slim, the coach, Bowden, goes for a little bit of a wild ride there in the second to last corner.
Talking about Steve Singer running away with this thing 10 seconds faster that last lap than or 10 seconds in front of second place, I should say. With our race sponsor on the hood of that number 6 tonight, Holler Boyz Racing. Holler Boyz Racing TV, as a matter of fact. Go check them out, Holler Boyz Racing. Over there on Facebook, we got a link in the tonight's race promo race description.
Did Derek Welch
click on over there and give him some love?
Did Derek Welch steal that car tonight? He just blew past Dylan Bryant going into the bus stop. He's
Driving it as if he did.
He sure is. It's his birthday. Got to.
Well, you got to wonder about that set of tires he's running on. I mean, he's already spun out with those tires, and now he's driving like a madman out there, not giving them.
He just got a little slippery there.
Them things got to have some pretty serious wear on them right now.
You're not wrong. Now, with only 45 laps, I know Turner, they have, what, a total of 5 sets, including the ones they started here tonight. They're not going to use all of them. I'd be surprised if they even use 2 more sets here. Kind of depends on how they break down, how they want to come on into the pits and whatnot, but managing that tire wear is actually very important here. I mean, for the most part, there really isn't any banked turns going anywhere. If anything, I think the carousel is counterbanked. It actually, I think it drifts off to the outside of the track, not to the inside. So being able to keep that rubber sticking onto that track surface here is going to be a pretty big key.
Carousel does have a little bit of helpful banking, but not much. If you get above the white line, that's where it slopes down like you're talking about to the outside, and it is really dangerous. You really want to stay off of that white line, way away from it. You want to stick to the inside there if you can, because you're going to need that runoff room when you leave the carousel turn. You want to be in the gas early and go all the way to the left side of the track there. You want to use every bit of that real estate that you have to keep your momentum up.
Sweet. Follow along here with the 92 of Stubbs and
One's
Nation.
around. Turn 1.
Yeah,
Derek Welch spun out again.
He did.
Sorry, buddy. I had to call that one.
Trying to get up to speed before people catch on up to him. Let's go ahead and kind of see what happened here with DW. As looks like, oh, just hard on the brakes. The car looks squirrely to begin with, and tried to turn it on in there. Almost made the drift action work. Just a little bit too hot though when the car snapped around on him. But trying everything he could. He made it was like in one of those 747s where you gotta throw out the freaking spoilers, the air jet. You gotta throw everything out on that one to slow it down. Whew,
Put it all out there. Get slowed down.
Yeah, he's getting squirrely coming out of the carousel, as well as the 76 of Ottinger tries to line up the 73 of Josh Kelleher.
Yeah, he's out there drifting it around there for sure. So 70% fuel. Will these guys make it to halfway, or are they going to make a two-stop race out of this thing? Maybe stopping at 15 and 30. That's kind of the strategy I'm looking at right now. I'm not sure if they can make it to halfway.
Yeah,
make it a one-stop race.
I think you're correct. I think they're probably going to see people come on down into the pits here, lap 15 or so. But of course, what do we know? We're just people with talking heads up here in a booth. We just like watching this stuff, but these guys in these cars definitely know. Just like Steve Singer, I see Singer. He's probably not planning on. As DW has an issue here in the bus stop chicane. Good golly, DW, you're showing your age here tonight.
Yeah, he nosed hard into that wall. I'll be surprised if he doesn't have some kind of engine damage going to be happening here. He got to watch them gauges. Watch your temps there, buddy.
2 fast repairs. He needs to come down there and grab one. He'll be fine.
Well, the biggest thing for DW though is going to be that 30 incident limit here. I mean, just based off of the off tracks, he's already got 5, and then you add a loss of control into that. That's another 2 for each of those.
Contact the wall.
Contact the wall is another 2. So, man, 30 incidents seems like a lot, but man, it can add up in a hurry without getting any damage on the race car.
That's not counting, taking into account that damage. Yep, that's right.
He could get booted out of his own race on his birthday.
His own league on his birthday.
I think he wouldn't care. He's probably kind of like me, just have a tough time doing these road courses. I was never good at it. I like to turn left 4 times and call it a day. But as far as watching it, I think it's pretty fun to watch.
As our favorite Lowe's driver over here, 48 is Zeth Hawley, is coming through his final turn there on lap number 10, going on to lap number 11. Of course, Zeth racing inside of his VR, and Mr. Elish, I think VR is going to be a big help here, where you can actually look and turn your head and see your corner entry, see the corner exit. It just is going to help you out all that much more.
Absolutely. Road course, it's going to pay off dividends for him here. Being able to look through the turn and see what's happening there, because there's a couple of really tight ones. It'll help to be able to look forward, and you get a better feel for where your apex point is, and what spot you need to hit on the outside of the turn coming out when you're putting power back down. So yeah, he's definitely got a little bit of an advantage there.
As the 728 of Tim Pope gets chased down here by the 5 of Nicholas Coate. These guys driving nose to tail right now, and the 5 showing some great speed. I think Pope might be in like a kind of a save mode, maybe try to run that 1 extra lap before having to come on down into the pits, because I mean, losing time on pit road is on for some of these positions, I think is going to be the big difference. I mean, especially right around Larry Dickerson, Josh Kelleher, Jeff Ottinger, Chris Klein. None of these guys are making too big of a mistake. Yeah, they might get a little loose coming out of a turn here and there, but they've been keeping it pretty well on track. and they're all running right around the same pace as well. So it's going to be that, you know, couple extra seconds on pit road that's going to make a difference.
Come down pit. If I was to come down pit road here at lap 15, I'm going to throw four new Goodyears on, as well as fuel up. We'll see if these guys try to press it farther. But if you think about it, on older tires, the longer you go, the more time you're losing. I mean, you're losing more and more time as that tire wear starts to really hinder your ability to negotiate these turns.
Well, Singer's losing time, but Pope is also losing time. So it's kind of well, Pope had a pretty good lap, almost as good as Singer's on that last one, but still, Pope is sitting 20 seconds behind him, 22 seconds behind him. It's a huge gap, isn't it? Even here at a road course.
It is. I mean, it's just over 2.5 miles long. As Slim has a little bit of an issue there coming out of the final turn, but it's able to get it back together. 2.5 miles here doesn't take very long. There's actually they number these turns weird, and they count a turn that really isn't a turn. So there's not too much wheel input these guys are doing. There's a lot of straightaways, a lot of straight line speed being had on these corner exits. As at 76 of Jeff Ottinger trail breaks there through turn number 1, adding a little bit of a lockup there for some flair.
And some good sweeping turns, you know, good old sweepers. A lot of fun to drive on this track. Well, we saw Tim Stubblefield come down the pit lane, and then he got out of his car. He says, I think I'm done with this tonight. I'm sure he's walking down there to the hot dog stand.
19 of Cole Larson coming out of the bus stop, nosing into those tires on the outside. He's trying to wait for traffic to get by before he can get himself all turned around here.
Well, that's why he didn't have that much chatter out there for Stubblefield tonight. He probably had something to do. He's got a lot of fans. They probably are going to go out on the town in Nashville tonight or something.
And the 19 of Larson just attacking those curbs in that bus stop chicane, upsetting that car's balance, and sending him for a little bit of a wild ride. That bus stop is a very tricky thing to get exactly right, Alan, where you need to attack that curbing, but you can't just completely launch your car over it. Otherwise, you get what happened there, and you end up going for a wild spin. Next thing you know, you're driving on the road, looking at the scenery. Now you're in the scenery, looking at the road.
That's one way of putting it. Yeah, it's about entry, man. When you're coming up on that bus stop chicane, it's all about how you enter it. Now, if you're right up against the wall on that right-hand side, that guardrail, that's what I try to do. I try to put if I had a door handle on the right side of that car on the right-hand door, it almost clip the end of that guardrail because it sets you up for the turn that's upcoming. You want as much room as you can. That way you don't have to barrel over those curbings. You know, if you set yourself up just right, you can just ride on the edge of it and keep the car straighter.
As Steve Singer flying through this field, putting Josh Kelleher a lap down right now, and he's creeping his way up onto that back bumper of the 69, Larry Dickerson, as they make their way down the front straightaway here and back down across the line, heading on to lap number 16. And that's one of the good fun things here at road courses is even if you're slow and whatnot, just let the leader go around you, and you don't have to do that extra lap.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Your race shorter.
Look, what I used to say a lot of, smooth is slow and slow is fast. You could still gain some attrition positions just by finishing a race like this and trying to stay out of the curbage and all the carnage and stuff. So unfortunately tonight, I don't think we're going to see anybody fight anybody. This isn't the track where we get any cool fights or anything.
No, and it's always good to have a road course in there because, yeah, you get your few road course guys that are really, really good and they can go out and battle for the win and whatnot. But for the most part, I don't want to say you got to treat it like a fun race, but you can't take yourself seriously at these things. So especially, we'll see people in these leagues run a road course right after, a short track where there was a bunch of cautions. Ooh, as the 76 of Jeff Ottinger drills the outside wall in the final turn there. But, where, tempers get heated at those short tracks. People getting into each other, a whole bunch of wrecks. So it's always good to get, a little spread out. Everyone's out there. Everybody is struggling just the same, on this road course. Cool things off, and then you can get back to that, regular season madness and enjoy the racing that is yet to come.
Well, Paul Ferdiani out there saying that Plus EV team member Zeth Hawley loves to do some road racing. He also reminds us that Numb Thumbs Gaming League's Golf League Season 2 is about to start up. The first event is the Hawaiian Open. So you guys watching, if y'all aren't a part of the Numb Thumbs gaming community, definitely go check them out. They've got stuff other than iRacing to do over there. We do some trucking and American Truck Simulator. We do some PGA golf.
And
they have a Wreckfest league. They got all kinds of stuff going on.
They got Wreckfest. They've got DayZ. Also got, I think they were trying to get Star Citizen, Farming Simulator, even starting to get a group of regulars to play some Escape from Tarkov. So anything that you could possibly think of, gaming wise, you'd be surprised, the ATC is probably their biggest draw, but of that ATC, all those guys, they love to, it's the love of video games that draws people together over there at the NTG, and it doesn't matter what video game that is. So be sure to head on over there and join up, and you never know, you might find yourself a new buddy or two to play that really obscure cat petting game or whatever you guys like to play.
They have one of those? I'm pretty sure they do. That makes sense.
They have one called Goat Simulator somewhere that I saw.
Yeah, I saw that too. I don't know what that means, but it seems like it's about goats.
Well, I don't know, but I know all three of us like to get on Microsoft Flight Simulator too, and there's a couple of guys over there flying, so maybe that'll continue to take off as well. But you got to go over there and check them out. Go get on their Discord and just look through all the stuff. You don't have to be on the notification list for every category. Just pick the ones you like and mute the rest. And I guarantee you're going to find somebody over there that's friendly and it's going to help you out. Numb Thumbs Gaming.
Yeah, request to speak to the oldest guy in the house. You get Richard Gray. You get to talk to the legend himself, if he's awake.
Well, Tim Stubblefield chiming in over on the YouTube chat, saying, "Sorry guys, I did not like the setup that we got to run this thing. This is a fixed setup league, so you're kind of stuck with what you got, and you can't really make any adjustments. So I think the only thing you can really change is brake bias, and you can only do so much with that. So Tim, calling it a night."
I like the other story I came up with where he's going out on the town in Nashville or something.
Sure.
He didn't have time for us. Seems like a more fun time.
Go hang out at Tootsie's or something.
Yeah, anywhere. Get some Nashville hot chicken.
It's like you say, never let the truth get in the way of a good story here, as we got side-by-side action heading down into the bus stop chicane between Vince Short and Zeth Hawley. Ooh, getting a little tight there, but Vince Short able to send it on in and hold that position as the 48 loses it coming out. Oh, man, good job locking it up. Able to at least avoid contacting that inside guardrail as the 48, but that battle with Vince Short is for the time being, it's kind of over.
Luckily, there was nobody right there behind him as he was sliding across the track.
Yeah, it took him a minute to get back, straight away. So it worked out. He'll be fine. Just run some laps. Keep going.
Our buddy up in Minnesota joining us, guys. Adam Strom says, "Happy Friday, fellas. After 17 inches of snow last couple days, I'm enjoying some cold ones and watching some racing." So thanks for joining us, bud.
17 inches of snow.
Yeah.
What the hell? Are they ice fishing up there, Strom? Are you in the rig right now? What's happening?
Probably can't get to it unless they plowed the roads.
I mean, why wouldn't they plow the roads, man? That's way
don't
up
know.
there. They do that all the time, eh? If they have 17 inches of snow where you're at, everybody'd be dead
That's true.
because they wouldn't know what to do. I think up there they got it pretty squared away.
They do. It's the 62 of Rich Blake hanging on to a top 10 spot right now. Brian Neff going off track there for just a second. But 62, Rich Blake, he's been trying to chase down that 03 of Dylan Bryant here a little bit. Get up into 8th. Definitely having some work left to do. But he's doing it pretty quickly here. But English, we didn't see anybody come down there really around lap 15. Looks like these guys are going to try to make this a one-stop race and make it all the way to halfway.
Yeah, if they made it this far, that's what they're doing. They're trying to stretch that fuel mileage and try to come in probably lap 23 maybe, and get 4 fresh good years and fill it up with fuel there.
I'm looking forward to this Hawaiian Open thing. It sounds pretty fun. I like Hawaii.
I was in the league last season, and life happened, and other things came up, and I just kind of lost interest.
Life
in
happened.
it
You
for a
mean you
while.
had to make beer all the time?
Yeah. I'm sitting here enjoying our house IPA that we make down there, called Highway 80 IPA. Quite tasty.
Sweet. Look behind here, the 751 of Mike Adamson and the 60 of Brian Neff, and you can just see how much that curbing really affects these cars here. Looking at them bounce around off of the orange strips through the bus stop chicane there, heading now down the back chute. That's going to be a fun battle to watch, as well as this battle between 69 of Dickerson and the 73 of Kelleher. These guys have been racing pretty close together here. Not aggressively, but they're definitely racing for some spots out there.
Yeah, that is for position. So these guys are out there. They're close together right now. It looks like they're both being pretty patient, though. Neither one of them really trying to. You don't see any dive bombing or any blocking from the lead car there. They're just kind of cruising around right now.
Well,
Paul Ferniani said it's pretty windy where he's at right now, and Strom says that they've had 45 inches of snow so far this month, but they do plow the roads so he can get to his ice shanty.
That's definitely a good thing, but meanwhile, over here, we will plow our own roads, and we will be sure to bring you guys back with the second half of this race live with action here, but we'll send it on out there for a little bit of a break. Go ahead, go to the bathroom, get some popcorn, get some drinks, because we still have the second half of this race to get to here, so be back with us here in just a few moments. And welcome back, everybody, as we enjoy the final 20-odd so laps here of this race. Steve Singer in the lead, but we do have pit stops now underway. Looked like Singer just pitted back on lap 24. Mike Adamson now coming on down into these pits. Nick Coate has pitted. Timothy Pope has come on down and pitted. So we are definitely in the middle of this pit cycle right now. Ooh, little bit of a spin there in turn number 1 by the 5. That's going to allow that 728 of Timothy Pope to get that second spot back.
Oh no, Holler Boyz racing guy. 15 of Vincent Short with a black flag on the pit lane. He's going to be sitting there a while. Did he already come out of the pits?
He's
sitting in his pit box. Okay. He's going to serve it right there, I guess. Well, better to get it on the way in than on the way out.
Yeah, 100%. So that way it's all over and done with, just on the same bet. But you also got the 60 and the 69 now going nose to tail. The 60 giving absolutely no room to Dickerson here as they head up through the S's.
Derek Welch spun in turn 1 again. Oh, he comes right across the track in front of somebody exiting the pit.
Oh, that was a 15 of Vince Short.
Good night. That was close.
Excuse me, I misspoke. That's the 751 of Mike Adamson right in front of the 60 of Brian Neff. These two were having a good battle during that kind of first little run that we had going on. And it looks like that is going to be staying heated on up here as these guys continue to put laps away here from Watkins Glen. About 20 laps remaining. Steve Singer coming on down the short chute here, about 33 seconds to be exact, clear of Timothy Pope and Nicholas Coate back there. So having some good run is that 6 machine absolutely on some rails.
That's a third of a lap, man. That's farther than a third of. That's damn near. Yeah, that's a long way. I will just go with that.
Yeah, so to put it in perspective, field-wise, he has lapped all the way up to 7th, and he is chasing down 6th.
That does not even fun for him. I mean, he's just destroying everybody.
I guarantee he's having fun. He's having fun putting on a clinic out there. Watkins Glen. Okay, guys, go back, save the replay of the race, go back and watch what he's doing. You're going to learn a lot by watching the 6 of Steve Singer and that HBR TV car just come out here and dominate tonight. Pope's trying to close the gap a little bit. He just set his fastest lap of the race, which is over 2 seconds slower than Steve's.
Adamson hard into the inside wall as we are following along there with the 60 of Brian Neff. Dylan Bryant hard into the wall, having a little bit of an issue.
He might be stuck in the wall. Yep, he had to tow. That's a long tow, boys, for the 03.
Coming through that bus stop chicane just a little. No, it wasn't even that. Oh, he got into the back of the 19. Was kind of slow and to the middle outside of the carousel there. And it looks like, did the wall octopus grab him there? Oh,
I think so. He had it in reverse trying to back up. He couldn't back up.
Absolute heartbreak there for Dylan Bryant. Let's go back and see kind of what happened with the 751 of Mike Adamson here. Heading through the second to last corner up onto the curbing. Just enough to upset that car and into that tire barrier there. It's a good thing NASCAR put that there. I guess they expect people to possibly spin on out there. But good news for Mike was he was right there next to the pits when it happened. So he's able to immediately come on down and use a fast repair and get that car all fixed up.
They have done a lot of work.
Oh, Steve Singer, your race leader, having an issue.
Well, he's 35 seconds ahead of the next guy, so he should be all right.
I'm despaired on.
But he's got damage. He's got to come back down into the pits.
Ooh, okay.
His right front is absolutely destroyed.
That's interesting, isn't it? Oh, it sure is. He's limping on in.
These are new damage model cars too, so he's got suspension issues.
Yeah, so oh no! We talked about it in that key to the race where you have to be perfect and you can't put tires off onto the grass. And that is exactly what happened to the 6 machine. Put 2 tires off down into the grass, tried braking to make the second to last corner there, and it sends him off into the wall.
But he's already on the way out of the pits, and now he's only a few seconds back, 5-6 seconds back, so he'll be fine. He just got a fast repair done, nothing else. I maybe put some fuel in it, I'm not sure.
We were talking about the barriers and stuff here. They've done a lot of work over the last 10 years or so to improve the safety here at Watkins, Glen. I don't know if y'all remember, I think it was Ryan Newman years ago came out of one of the turns and it was coming out of the carousel and he skidded across the track and there wasn't a lot of runoff right there and he hit a guardrail really hard and went up in the air and got hit when he came back down. It was a terrible crash.
Jimmy Johnson had an incident in turn 1 as well. He lost his brakes, I think.
Oh man.
So
safety is definitely the key.
Yeah, it is, and it's definitely safe here tonight. These guys shouldn't get hurt unless they fall out of their chair or something. We have had that happen.
Have we? We've had people fall out of their rig.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was.
Too many libations during.
No, I think it broke. Like something broke.
Oh, okay.
On the seat or whatever, and it fell out of it. Wheels can fall off. I mean, anything can happen,
Sure.
But the major injuries shouldn't be happening here in iRacing.
I don't know, sometimes people get their thumbs stuck in the inside of the wheel. You're supposed to put your thumbs on the outside. That force feedback, if it rips it across there,
could happen.
You could
lose lose a pinky or something. I don't know.
Oh Lord. Well, Tim Pope enjoying this lead while he's got it out here. Cutting some pretty good times here. Trying to stay consistent. Is that kind of the name of the game here, Brown? You just want to be consistent, whatever you do, and not just consistent, but safe and consistent.
Oh, absolutely. Because, we just saw there from who we were saying, it's absolutely dominating this race in that 6 of Steve Singer. He was consistent until he wasn't and made that one tiny little mistake, and that is exactly what can cost you here. So, again, pace, it's nice to have pace here, but you need to be just absolutely perfect on hitting your marks here tonight and avoiding any calamitous situations. And otherwise, Tim Pope, he's been doing a pretty good job. He's only gone off track a couple of times here and there. Same thing with the 5 of Nick Coate. They've been racing together pretty clean here as James Bowden has a little bit of an issue here once again. But the 69 of Dickerson now has the 13 of Chris Klein, and looks like the 48 of Seth Hawley flying up on him now.
Trouble up front. Oh,
my goodness. We're 3 wide going through the carousel here.
Oh, he got turned.
Oh, Slim got turned.
Well, he was in the way. Singer had to turn him. He had caused a lot of commotion there.
See, Nick Coate was pinching one of them cars kind of close, trying to make his way through there, swapping a little paint as well.
Well, and right at the beginning of that incident, Tim Pope got into the grass. I don't know if he's slowing down to try to avoid Bowden, but he got a little hairy.
Not a ton of damage on the 53, guys. I think he'll be okay to keep running out there for now.
It looks like he's going to come on down and maybe use one of those fast repairs just in case anyway, because, being the road course and how you want to drive these things, you'd maybe not necessarily want to be putting laps done in a damaged race car if you don't have to. As the 5 of Nick Coate leads the charge here. 7:28 of Pope and the 6 of Steve Singer right behind him. 14 laps remaining here in this race from Watkins Glen.
Yeah,
Steve's using every bit of that exit room out of the carousel to keep that momentum up. Go ahead there.
No, he sure is. No, I was just saying this is the race right here.
Oh, yeah.
The race within the race that probably the victor here should win this thing. I mean, I'm guessing if Singer can get through here, he's proven that he'll take off. So we'll see if the Pope and Coate have anything for him.
Right now, Pope doing a good job trying to prevent that 6 from coming up through, but he goes wide down through turn number 1. So that's 1 spot back for Steve Singer. He's now got his eyes deadlocked in front of him here, trying to chase down that 5 of Nicholas Coate. The 7:28 of Tim Pope now, he's going to try to hustle and get back up to that back bumper of the 6 so he can be back in this fight and hopefully maybe pick off another spot here.
Oh, got Chris Klein doing a 360 spin in turn number 1. He's got it back going straight. He's headed up into the S's.
Ooh, little
Pretty fancy driving.
yeah, that was pretty.
Good job getting it pointed back the right direction. Self spin is what we've been seeing a bunch of tonight.
As the 5 of Coate heads on back down through that final turn and across the line here. 12 laps to go now with the 6 breathing down his neck. Speaking of, here he comes down into this hard braking zone for turn number 1. Up the inside goes the 6. Looks like he is going to take that spot away quite handily. And now the 6, after his incident, back up to the lead. And of course, why was he able to do it so quickly? Oh, because he had that lead up to 35 seconds to begin with.
Yeah, he just outbraked them there in 1. That's what you got to do at these road courses is outbrake the guy if you can. As he's coming up on, looks like Chris Klein now. Well, I don't know who that car is. It blinked out.
Oh man, he's coming up onto the 53 and the 62 pretty quickly
53.
here.
There you go. That's who it is.
Yeah, that's Slim James Bowden trying to stay out of the way here. So he almost gets up into the back end of the 62 of Rich Blake. So a little bit of a like, come home, just get out of the way. I need to get out of the way.
Here comes Singer. Singer's going to look to the inside of Blake here, maybe going into turn 1.
And he does. And it looked like the 62 was very much expecting it and was able to kind of just drift wide through turn number 1 there. As both Coate and Pope able to get by Bowden now. They're trying to set up and get around the 62 of Blake.
Now, Bowden kind of doing the same thing there. Just staying high, staying up out of the way, and letting those lead lap cars go by.
And that's the best thing right now. I mean,
Horsemanship, yeah.
There's really not much you're battling for back there other than pride.
He's not going to Ryan Newman him, and just try to hold him up.
What do you got against Ryan Newman? Why does everybody hate him so bad?
I don't.
You seem like you don't like the guy.
He doesn't like to give positions away.
Well, he's given up his ride. I don't think he races anymore.
No, I think he's retired now for good.
Man. I mean, he wasn't everybody's favorite, but he was a tough guy a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, he was one of those racers that, why do I want to let somebody around me? That's money,
Yeah.
Don't let him around. Don't let him around. If you can hold him up, hold him up. That's money.
I think you're always better off when you think of everything about as money.
Sure.
More motivation, right?
Sponsorship you might not get because you might miss the playoffs by 1 point. And you let that guy around early in the season, why'd you do that? I can see
Yeah.
his point.
Every point counts, even here.
Yep, even here at the road course at Watkins Glen, these guys are fighting for the points championship here in the Arca series.
Well, we just hadn't had much chatter out here on our YouTube page. Did Zuckerberg cut us off again? Did he?
Ah, we've still
Did
got some viewers.
no? I hadn't seen any movement in a while. Did Zuckerberg eliminate our chat capabilities because of all the?
No, we're
'Cause
not shadow banned or anything like that. That's what
Are you
getting at.
sure? Because I
No,
can go on
no
a
one
rant
is
about
sure.
Bill Gates right now if you want me to.
No one is sure.
I can get us banned real quick.
Oh, the 13 goes right through the bus stop. The 73 gets in the grass. Wow, that was a close one for Vince
was.
Short.
He was. Josh Keller was just kind of following the leader there. Lost track of where he was.
How many times have you hit the wall because you were following me and I hit the wall? I mean, it happens.
Countless.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it's because, English, you put them into the wall, like turn 2 at Pokemon.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Sometimes.
Listen now. Okay, now I'm getting fired up.
Yeah.
Turn 2 at Pocono. Why did you do that, by the way? You never gave me an explanation.
I just overdrove the turn, man. I wasn't trying to wreck my teammate.
But you did fail, right? That was your failure.
Yes, I admitted
as a driver.
fault.
You ran out of talent.
I admitted fault. I never admitted that I did it on purpose.
Okay. Cole Larson pitting.
And I never will.
It's the 19 right in front of the 5 and the 728 slides his way on down into pit lane. 8 laps to go here in this race from Watkins Glen. Steve Singer starting to open that lead back up, almost 3 seconds now clear of that fight for second place between Coate and Pope. You got Brian Neff. He's pretty secure there in fourth. He's about 40 seconds outside of third and about 10 seconds clear. Vince Short in that 15 from fifth. So the 60 machine just putting in the work, putting in the laps here tonight to get a good finish. The 15, Vince Short's had a little bit of an up and down night. He's had his own little incidents here and there, but he's been doing all right. He does have that 48 of Zeth Holly, though, lurking about 2 seconds in the background. The one of Derek Wells' birthday boy might have done a little bit too much celebrating here this evening as he's started up towards the front, but drifted his way on back as the 13 of Chris Klein sideways going into the final section here, as we're going to have some people coming up behind him here pretty quick.
DW had a great start, starting in third place, but spin after spin has got him way back in the field. 7-Eleven Trick says, I just got here to see the finish. Richard Gray is here as well, saying, give it up for AAA, best broadcasters in iRace. Thank you, Richard. That's really sweet. He must not have heard all the old jokes
I was about to say
about him earlier.
We made fun of him for the first third of the race. Sorry, Richard. We do love you, though, even
Now
though
he's
you're
going to
old.
rewind it. Yeah. We love Richard Gray to death. Tim Stubblefield said, we've been watching all the spin outs tonight. And Nikki Short saying, let's go HBR Racing. Looking good out there. Holler Boyz Racing, the title sponsor tonight. Go check out their Facebook page. They got some awesome stuff about racing out there. And their main guy out there tonight, Steve Singer, holding down first place. And Vincent Short, also of Holler Boyz, he's running in fifth right now, still on the lead lap. Only 6 cars on the lead lap right now.
Yeah, that indeed, as he, the 15 does have that 48 now, really creeping up on that back bumper, coming up to him here in the S's, a very tricky area to maybe use that run to get around him. So he's maybe going to try to set something up to get a pass down the back straightaway here as both drivers tail happy coming out of the S's.
They're feeling the pressure now.
Yeah.
Really fighting each other out there.
I lost all my packets again, so bear with me. It's a packet
no.
losing fool over here. Yeah, I'm trying to load back in. I can stay with you, though. I can talk about stuff like trackdogsracing.com. Check them out for all your iRacing stuff.
Come on, Vince.
Team
Hold on
gear.
to it, buddy. Is side by side racing. We go with the 48 in the 15. Coming out of the carousel, the 15 is short. Just having a little bit of an issue there, opening that door for the 48 to slide on through. So Zetali moving his way on up into 5th. Looks like the 15 of Vince short. I thought he was going to be coming down into the pits, but he is not. Timothy Pope sideways into the grass, able to rejoin the track here. And unfortunately for him, though, that's going to allow Nicholas Coate to start to drive away a little bit.
Nicholas Coate and that 5 Ken Block tribute car out there. He's had a fast car all night, and he's really wheeling it out there. So great job by Nicholas Coate in that 5 to at least make it interesting out here. Our buddy Adam Strom up there in the Great White North, in the blizzard, saying, I feel privileged to have Richard Gray, a.k.a. the oldest man in iRacing, here in the chat with me. It's like having a celebrity, you know?
Isn't he's still in the United States of America. That's not the Great White North, it's Canada.
Yeah, I know.
He's in Minnesota.
I'm dropping some references out there for some people.
I know what you're talking
Go
about.
watch some SCTV, folks.
That's the 73 and the 6 both use as much of that runoff as they possibly can here out of the carousel turn and down into the short chute. And the 73 letting the 6 machine go on by. Nicholas Coate not too far behind him, locking him up, going into the second to last corner. He's going to use some runoff area there.
There to use. Just don't lose too much momentum. Crying out loud. Try not to lock your brakes up here.
I found my packets.
You found them? Where'd you leave them at?
I don't know. Nicholas Coate kind of locking them up.
Now I want to go watch some Ken Block videos. I haven't watched any in a long time. That cat could drive a car. He could drive anything, couldn't he?
Well,
See
what
those
happened
videos?
to him?
Snow machine
Ooh.
accident. Oh,
The 5 and the 728 almost getting knotted up here. 728 coming out of nowhere, catching right back on up to that back bumper of the 5. So Timothy Pope launching himself back up in the second.
wow, man. And Coate missing the bus stop there had to slow way down and give up that time.
All with 4 laps remaining as Steve Singer comes back down across the line here. So 3 laps now remaining from this race here at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, upstate New York, you saw a pretty good one here tonight, guys. Fans in the stands and you guys watching there at home. Thank you so much for all the thumbs up we got tonight. We sure appreciate y'all here at AAA Broadcasting. If you like what you see, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you hadn't already. We're picking up new subscribers every week, so thank you so much. Y'all are the reason why that's happening. We're getting a little bit more exposure the more likes we get on our videos, so y'all keep it up. Thank y'all so much for the support. We appreciate each and every one of our fans.
Yeah. Hit the buttons. Shove it to Zuckerberg. Dude,
Oh,
for
13 Chris
What
Klein
happened?
around in the grass at the bus
Uh-oh.
stop.
Wow.
He's having a rough night, boys.
And he was kind of balled up in some traffic there with Kelleher and another driver in front of him, and just probably couldn't quite see where his braking point or his turn entry was. Looked like he might have had another little bit of an incident trying to get things looped back around.
Tom talking about Nicholas Coates going through the bus stop. He said he was taking my line. He said straight's always easier at the bus stop. Yeah, the trouble is you just got to sit there and wait for the little timer to click down. Or if you're a slow enough driver like me, it'll just click down automatically and clear your black flag.
Ooh, is Nick Coate having an issue coming out of turn number 1? What was looking like it was going to be a very promising race for him, starting to kind of fall by the wayside here. He's still well clear of the 60 of Neff there in 4th spot, but the 5 machine really struggling to keep a pace right now. Looked like the 13 of Chris Klein had another little bit of an issue, but he's back out there on track. For the most part, though, it looks like all the battles are just about done as we're closing in on the final lap of this race here tonight. Singer now sending it on down through the second to last turn into the final turn here as we get ready to take the white flag. And here we go. One more lap to complete this race here tonight. And Singer, with a very impressive performance, makes his way back up to the lead and starts to run away once again. Josh Kelleher going a little bit wide as he tries to make his way onto the white flag lap there himself. Down through turns 1 and 2, and now up the S's go the 6 of Steve Singer, looking as smooth as he possibly can right now.
Yeah, he's doing a great job out there, just putting on a clinic, just trying to finish this final lap. He's got such a huge lead. He's not really trying to race anybody. He's probably not going to put a lot of pressure on lap cars. He's just going to try to complete this lap without any mistakes. And you got a little loose coming out of the bus stop there, kind of making me nervous.
And, yeah, he needs to just relax. He's got plenty of time. We've already seen him hit the wall that the one time previously. Kind of cost him a little bit.
On a show,
But it
though.
made it a little closer than it would have been. So he's Singer the ringer. No doubt about that tonight.
Absolutely no doubt. As Singer rounds the final turn for the final time, making his break down and across the line, picking up the win here from Watkins Glen here tonight. Your big winner. You got Timothy Pope now coming through the final turn as well. He's going to end up walking home in second with the 5 of Nicholas Coate, able to pick off a 3rd place finish there for himself here this evening.
Yeah, but as they're across the line, they're still racing out on the track, right? We still have some guys racing for position.
And you got
See if there's anything
Seth
interesting.
Hawley 1 second back and closing in on Brian Neff in that 60. This one's going to be coming down to the wire here. Looks like the 60 machine might just have a little bit too much, but he does have a little pressure there from that 48. Is the 48 able to maybe make one final giant lunge here in the final turn? It's going to get close, but not close enough. The 60 will hang on for 4th.
Holler Boyz Racing joining us on YouTube as well, saying great job, Steve, out there, and a nice top 10 for Vince Short out there, just missing out, just barely missing out on a top 5.
Yeah,
That's
6th
Holly
place.
will be your 5th place finisher.
Nothing wrong with a nice 6th place finish here at a road course. This is a tough course to handle, especially when Singer and Pope really, and Coate kind of took
man.
Ran away from the field a little bit.
These guys that finished on the podium just drove their asses off tonight. And Derek Welch wishes he could have a couple of those laps back after self-spinning a couple of times. The number 1 machine that did start in 3rd, the birthday boy, will finish in 9th place here. 1 lap down. Well, guys, y'all enjoy this one or what? I mean, this was a pretty cool race. They did get kind of separated out, especially after pit stops. But check out the masterful burnout you're seeing from Steve Singer down here, putting on a little show for the fans out here. Oh, he's burning every bit of rubber off the back of that thing.
He's just showing off at this point.
I like it.
Got every right
and
to.
there we go.
He just ran out of road. That's all that happened there. He's like, let me turn it around.
Well, while that 6 machine goes ahead and celebrates, let's go ahead and talk with some of these drivers here this evening, and we'll start things off with tonight's Third place finisher, that will be the 5 of Nicholas Coate, who is looking very strong out there this evening. Definitely a great performance from you here tonight, able to pretty securely at least get yourself a good podium finish, but it looked like you and Pope were going to have a fantastic battle here, especially the second half of this race here, Nick.
Yeah, it was fun racing, Tim. Yeah, I don't know. Last couple of laps, I think I wore my tires out. First half of the last run, I pitted before anybody, and then the last couple of laps, I just couldn't control the car. I was just happy to get it home in third.
Well, you definitely earned that third, man. It was a lot of fun watching you out there, and we really did appreciate you running that paint scheme tonight. Talk a little bit about, Ken Block, what he meant to you. I mean, we talked a little bit about it on the air, but everybody kind of has their own thoughts on it and stuff. And I mean, that guy, who else could wheel a car like that dude?
Oh yeah, he's best wheelman of our generation. He got me into car culture when I was younger. My one of my first cars was a WRX, the old hatchback version. But yeah, what he could do with a car was just outrageous, and his impact on all of car culture will definitely be remembered forever.
Amen.
Well, he had a great run tonight. It was tough to keep up with Singer. He kind of almost ran away with it there, but y'all had a good run. Third place, great finish. What do you think about Auto Club next week? And do you have any shout outs after that?
Yeah, good. Shout out to Steve. He put a whooping on all of us. I really think he pitted the second time just to make it interesting, but yeah. Yeah, shout out to you guys for putting this on broadcast, and for Derek to put on the league and Auto Club. Ran decent at Michigan, so should be a good race.
Well, you did gotta make sure my headset's not muted here. You did a pretty good job here tonight, though, Nick, having a solid third place finish on this podium. Congratulations. Great job, good running, and we can't wait to see you guys back it out here in action again here next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
So we'll slide our way up one spot on this leaderboard and talk to tonight's second place finisher. It'll be the 728 of Timothy Pope. Tim, I know you're coming off of a kind of a heartbreaking race on Wednesday night, so you were looking forward to maybe making up for it here tonight, and walking away with a good second place finish must feel pretty good for you.
Yeah, it is. After the Wednesday night, just come in here and hang out and try to have a good time.
Well, you're having a great time, it looks like, out there. And we were watching you during the practice session. Like, dadgum, Tim having some trouble out there. But then we talked amongst ourselves and says, nah, he's just doing Tim Pope stuff. Wait till the qualifying and wait for the race. And sure enough, you went out there and did one heck of a job. It was a lot of fun to watch you racing out there. What was the biggest challenge out there for you guys on this Watkins Glen track? It looked like maybe lap traffic was causing some problems out there for some guys and causing some bottlenecking. Is that kind of what you saw?
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. And plus, me, the left rear wearing out, and on those long right-handers and stuff getting real loose up off the turn there, especially later in the run there.
Well, great job. Second place. I mean, you had a heck of a run. He was really good tonight, Singer was. So, you got any shout outs before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out you guys. Track Dogs Racing, Limitless, KOK, and None Thumbs Gaming.
And with this second place finish here tonight, Tim, that championship race that you got going on, I mean, this is the second week in a row. I think you're scaring Bittner off or something, because we were looking forward to seeing you guys hash it out here in the later part of this season, but you're definitely increasing that lead in those points, man. Congratulations on this finish here tonight, and we look forward to seeing you back in action here next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Of course, Bittner, one of his quasi kind of teammates down there, is we head on up to tonight's race winner, and man, was it a win of the ages. The number 6 of Steve Singer, the Ringer, here tonight at Watkins Glen, just absolutely putting on a clinic. Now, because you were driving so good, Steve, we do have to raise you a little bit because you made a mistake there, buddy. What did you do putting 2 tires off on the grass?
I was thinking about having a beer after I lost my concentration. I got the right rear in the grass. It's an easy spot to do that at. Going over the bridge there, coming into turn 10, there's a little bit of pavement just to the right as you go over the bridge, but it quickly turns to grass, and I don't know if I just lost concentration or just wasn't paying attention. But yeah, I got the right rear in there. Hurt the car pretty bad going into the Armco. Had to get the faster repair, lost a couple of spots, but I don't know. We worked our way back through. I know regardless of my pace, this place is so hard to pass at. I was nervous. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get around Coat and Pope. We got jumbled up all together in the carousel with a lapper, and I got a little anxious and got into the back of James and spun him around. But it was a crazy race. I know I spent a lot of it up front, but either way, no matter what you're doing, even if you're out here by yourself, this place is tough.
Yeah, and one word kept coming to mind as we watched you just make laps out here and just assert your position. It's dominance. I mean, it was just a dominant performance out there, all the way from the qualifying lap that you put in, even your practice lap that you put in, 2 seconds and change faster than everybody else, and it paid off out there. All as much as you've run this track, we know you're from upstate New York, and this kind of being a home track for you and everything. But that kind of speed and perfection out there in those turns, that's all practice. That's all work that you put in, ain't it?
It's I don't know. I would say it's probably, how old am I here? 40. It's probably 30 plus years of turning laps on whatever version we've got for Watkins Glen and other road courses. I mean, I'm a NASCAR guy, so to speak, but I'm a road course guy, so it's kind of puts me in the middle there. I run better on the road course. There's just no doubt about it. But I don't know. It's nice to finally get a win out here. I haven't been able to make all the races this season, so it's nice to be able to park it in victory lane and at least try to keep up with these guys on the oval. But again, it's not a knock on any of the guys in this league. They just don't road race, so don't let that fool you. You get these guys out on an oval, and they're going to make me look just as bad. So it comes back to them next week.
Well, you had it this week. Good job. Awesome race. Domination all the way. Auto Club next week. But enjoy this one tonight, and you have shout-outs.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to thank Castle Products, HBR TV, Track Bar Media, all those guys jumping on board. Of course, Holler Boyz Racing as the team in general. Got to thank NTRL, Numb Thumbs Racing, and Derek, of course, putting on the league, and you guys at AAA putting on a great broadcast.
Awesome, man. Well, we appreciate it, brother, and great job with this win here tonight at Watkins Glen. Go ahead and now go celebrate that beer. Now that you aren't going to get distracted by, maybe doing a little something you shouldn't be doing. But good job, man. Congratulations, and we can't wait to see you back out here in action on this racetrack.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right, and so with that brings tonight's racing action to a close. And boys, as always, Watkins Glen living up to Watkins Glen's name of being a great place to come and watch a race.
Yeah, we knew we were going to see some guys rise to the top here that maybe hadn't got a win yet. And Steve just comes out and just whoops everybody's butt here. And look, he did have some guys that were close, man. We had, especially after that extra pit that he had to make there, we thought, we might see a kind of an upset here. But, man, congrats to all these guys that were, on the lead lap or even close to being on the lead lap. 6 cars did finish on the lead lap, but great job by everybody out there to keep this thing, pretty safe and pretty interesting. And it didn't turn into a big wreck fest out there today. So great job on all these drivers out here tonight. Numb Thumbs Racing League's really get the place to be, it seems like, here for Arca Series Racing, Next Gen Cup, and Xfinity. So they're adding a truck series, guys. We saw it in the little promo right there at halfway. You guys looking forward to doing a little watching as opposed to broadcasting, because I think somebody else is picking that one up. But we're going to get to be some spectators on that one.
I mean, that'll be fun. It was fun tonight.
Yeah.
Good way to end a Friday night. Looking forward to next week. Auto Club, really fun track.
Well,
So
that
ready for the next one.
indeed. So let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver ended up finishing here tonight. And I know some people's favorite, the 6 of Steve Singer, walking away with the race win here tonight. You got the 728 of Tim Pope in second, the 5 of Nicholas Coate in third. 60 of Brian Neff had a solid race out there, making some passes when he needed to, and was getting a little close there with Zeth Holly towards the end, but he's able to hang on to fourth, with the 48 of Zeth Holly rejoining us here and racing. Glad to have you back out on the track, Zeth, and finishing there in fifth. The 15 of Vince Short had a little bit of a up and down day, but all in all, a pretty solid night to finish here in sixth. Seventh is the 62 Rich Blake. We really didn't touch on him. He was kind of stuck in no man's land a little bit. Not a lot of racing going on kind of around him, but did a fantastic job there in seventh. Your hard charger of the day, big ass fans machine 76 Jeff Ottinger, up 7 spots on the day to finish here in 8th. So great job there from Jeff. The one of birthday boy DW Derek Welsh in the one machine, able to have a top 10 finish after some struggles there early on in 9th. With the 69 of Larry Diggerson continuing his hot streak of top 10 finishes, finishing tonight here in 10th.
Yeah, Larry, he's that's exactly what it is. It's been a hot streak for him. Finished 1 lap down here, so great job for him. 73 of Josh Kelleher will finish in 11th place. Chris Klein started up in 6th, had a lot of problems out there on the racetrack. The 13 car will finish in 12th place. The 13th place will go to James Slim Bowden out there in that 53 car. Cole Larson in the 19 will finish in 14th place. 15th will go to Mike Adamson in the 751 car. 03 of Dylan Bryant, we saw him got grabbed by that guardrail right there in the carousel, and he had to tow. He'll finish in 16th place. And Tim Stubblefield, Timmy in the 92, had to quit early there, and he'll finish in 17th. And that's your field, boys.
It is. So as always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching, because you guys are 100% the reason why we do this and have such a good time of doing it, seeing and being able to talk with all y'all while watching this great race in action. As well, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. It's free to do, and it helps you get alerted every single time that we go live, as we are live 5 nights a week over here for iRacing and other broadcasts and leagues. So be sure to check that out, and be sure, if you do enjoy any of this racing that you see, hit that thumbs up button, so that way people know that, hey, people are liking this, maybe I'll like it too, and they can come check it out, and we can continue to grow this fantastic community that we have over here. Also, big thank you to Holler Boyz Racing for sponsoring tonight's race, as well as the just league sponsors in general of JP Designs and 3D Prints. Davidson Builders as well. Thank you guys so much. Admin Box on board here this season. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Big thank you to Track Bar Media over there as well. SimGearCentral.com, as well as TrackDogsRacing.com, your premier merchandising supplier for the NTRL and AAA broadcasting. And of course, getting some use tonight, as well as that extra replay cam from countrythroughtheages.com. Looking forward, we get Xfinity cars fired back up after a little bit of a break during the holidays. We get to see them back in action at Daytona for 80 laps on Sunday night, so do not miss that one here, as that's going to be a fantastic race to watch as we get the kind of super speedway series back up and running. And if you know anything about super speedway races, anything and everything can and will happen, so definitely be sure to tune on in for that one. But on that note, until Sunday night, I'm Alan Brown. For Alan English and Adam Turner, we're signing off.
We gone.
See ya.